Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to part 2 of reading borrowed books. I am currently starting Tom Lake. I have the dust jacket off, but you can kind of see that if I show it that way, which is a borrowed book to me. I'm gonna try to read 4 borrowed books in this video, so Tom Lake will be one of them. My sister just borrowed me 2 more books and I just returned one of hers, so I'll try to read one of those and we'll see which other borrowed books that I can read in this video. So we'll see how long this borrowed books video takes me. My last one took me about a month to complete. So let's get reading. Okay, here's an update on my reading borrowed books. This week I read Plato and a Platypus Walk Into a Bar, Understanding Philosophy Through Jokes. This one I read over 2 days. I had to supervise something that I just really had to sit around for a lot and didn't really need to do anything, so I brought a book along and I finished this one in 2 days. It was also on my April TBR, so read a borrowed book and got one off my April TBR. And then now I'm gonna go back to reading Tom Lake, and I don't have anything I have to do this morning. It's Saturday, so I'm gonna see if I can get about at least a third of the way through this book today. It's not very long, but I want to tackle more of my April TBR, this on my April TBR, and continue reading borrowed books. So let's keep reading. Okay, I wanted to do an update. Ooh. Why are we sliding? I guess we'll get down low here. I wanted to do an update on reading borrowed books. I am still reading Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. I am halfway through now. My goal is to finish this weekend. I'm about to film my May picking my TBR, and this is for my April TBR. And it's just a slow book to read. I'm not connecting with the characters that deeply. It's 309 pages, so, and I'm at about 144, so it's about halfway through. But my goal is to finish this weekend. I'm trying to get a really good chunk done today. If I can get to page like 230 today, that would be great. So it's about another 100 pages. I read about 60 pages already today. So then I can start my next borrowed book, because I don't know if you can see how bad that is right there. And I would like to get rid of some of my borrowed books before I have to pack all of this up and move it. So let's read a little bit more. I'm gonna film my May TBR, and then I'm sure I'll pick this up in a little bit. Okay, so I'm still working on Tom Lake. You can't even see that. But what's really funny is yesterday I said I wanted to get to page 230, and I was reading before I had to leave to go to my friend's birthday dinner. And when I had to leave, I looked at the page number and it was exactly 230. And then I read 10 more pages last night, so I'm on page 240. So I have about 60 pages left of the book, and I'm gonna sit and read for an hour before I have to do all of my schoolwork and my job applications that are due. So those are the things that we need to get done today. But first, let's see if we can finish up a borrowed book. Okay, so my 1 hour timer just went off and I am 3 pages from the end. So I'm gonna finish my book and then tackle all of the things that I need to do. I guess switch my laundry and all the other things. But 3 pages left and we have another borrowed book done. Okay, I finally finished Tom Lake, so that's another borrowed book down. I think my next borrowed book that I'm going to pick up is, I think, Loath to Love You, which is on my May TBR, and it's a collection of like novellas. So that's my next borrowed book that I'll pick up and I will check in with you. Okay, it is the future, but I wanted to jump in here and say that I did read another Borrowed book, Paper Towns. I was reading this book while we were in the midst of moving, so I did not film any clips for that, so I'm going to insert this kind of in time order from when I finished it, but I did read Paper Towns, which was a Borrowed book, and now I can return it to the owner. So my current Borrowed book I'm reading is A State of Terror. I started this yesterday, and I realized this one has been on my bookshelf as a Borrowed book since before, like at least 2022, so it is time to read it, get it done. The first chapter was a little bit slow, but then as I started getting into it, it's definitely more of like a thriller suspense novel, I guess. But so far I'm really enjoying it. It's different than what I've been reading, and I just have been reading a lot of romance lately and just kind of got sucked out of that. I was just a little bit bored, so we'll read this and then get back to the romance novel I was reading. So I spent most of today outside in my hammock because it was a beautiful day and I just needed a break from the chaos that is around me. But I finally finished a third Borrowed book. I finished State of Terror. This is one that's been on my bookshelf for at least 3 years. And I can finally return that to my mom. As you can see, I have got my bookshelves mostly set up here. I'm still missing one box with some photo albums, but that's neither here nor there. I will find them there somewhere, and I can't remember which box I packed them in. However, by finishing State of Terror, I now have another Borrowed book checked off of my bookshelf. And that was actually one of my May TBR books. So I finished another one even though it is June, and I can start on my June TBR. I have started one of the books. I've started King and the Dragonflies, but there we go. This video has taken me over 2 months to film, I think, or around 2 months to film. I started it back in April, reading Borrowed Books Part 2. Let's see, I read Tom Lake. I read Paper Towns, and I read State of Terror. So I can now return those 3 books back to their respective owners. And I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully my next reading Borrowed books will not take as long. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.